Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of DooM WAD Travelogue. I'm Nick, and this is a show. And this is a show where we say, just because it's not a great idea to be going out right now, doesn't mean we can't still explore new and interesting spaces. We'll just do it in the form of DooM, WADs, and community build level packs. Except today, it's not necessarily community, but I think once you are called upon by like the original developers in order to create additional content, you are really more part of the EU. You've sort of been chamomiled, you've been canonized. Um, the point is today, and I actually can't talk about it yet because I did not update the lower third to say the right thing. So, uh, forgive me while I stretch here for a second. um, Actually, no, this is even gonna go worse because I gotta look up when this came out. This is something that I, you know, folks, DooM had a major impact on the society at large. Um, Both good and bad. Uh, is it capital? No, it's not. Lowercase. There. Okay. Um, Both good and bad, and today we're here to find out if the the listen, I've been somebody who has not, owned every system, have played the pinnacle version of everything. I'm somebody who had the console or the PC that I had, and therefore needed to play the port that was available to me. Um, but I was lucky that I had a PC and never had to contend with Doom 64. Um, now that it's up, I'll let it run the demo. Um, there we go. So my understanding is this is a Doom. Period. New sentence. The thing that I think is going to be interesting about checking this out, because it's Doom. It's made by id, or whoever it brought in to work on it. But the whole point is that it is all new levels. It is, man, wild actually, even that this is all new graphics. Looking at this, um, and it's like, okay, well, what else has changed? What else? Like, this is almost a whole new experience in a weird way. In a weird way, I'm to understand that this is actually like not Doom, not Doom 3 the way that Doom 3 is Doom 3, but this was sort of after Doom 2, but it was trying to revisit the. Listen, I don't know what to expect, and that's why I'm excited. All I've seen is this demo play like 2 or 3 times now. So how about I stop yapping about it and we get into it, because I'm actually really excited to play this and just find out. See, I need to put the mic here, where when I look at you, I look at it, and when I look at my stats, I pivot around the mic. Um, well, hopefully I can do better than that. Oh, look at that fuzz. Okay, um, let's get into the game. Oof, you know what? I am gonna do that because I prefer it smooth, even if I have to pull it back down later, which would be bad if that's dead simple. That's from Doom 2. Options. I do want to look at options. Input. Bindings. Yeah, forward, backwards, left, right. Attack, left mouse. Speed, space. Here we go. Whoa. Okay, wait, here we go. Auto run, caps lock, use E. Okay, yeah. So I'm guessing no jump. Weapon 0? 4. Maybe, okay, that might be shotgun, super shotgun. That's odd. Auto map is tab, screenshot. I do need this on F12. It's gonna double screenshot now. Quick load, sorry, I like F8, and quick save on F5. That's why it needs to be out of the way. Oh, now it's gonna... Okay, so now it's gonna take a screenshot every time we save. That's weird. Our mouse, X, accelerate. Okay, so we're not gonna have any looking up and down. You know what? I think I can live with that. What? Oh, what? What? Okay. What? I mean, I own DooM, but I don't think the way this means. For those of you joining us for the first time today, this is a show about exploration, not about challenge. So we always play on the easiest, and this will be no different. Oh, can I really not make that go away? Whoa. Whoa. Okay. So you're telling me this is a door? This is going to be like our starting door? Okay. Okay. Honestly, the perfectly... Oh. Shotgun start. Okay. Wow, that is so inaccurate. Oh my gosh. Is that... Yeah, that's blue key. These look like they have to be too. Oh, wait. No? Okay. I thought I was seeing bullet decals. Okay. Oh, I don't like not being able to look up. Where'd he go? Hi. Alright, we got nice, actually the, like, the coloring of everything is really, not necessarily stark, but pronounced. And honestly, good palette selections. Here we go. Blue. I assume that's a blue key. That's something. Okay. How do I zoom this out? I guess I don't. Alright, well. Oh, is that like a secret? Okay, fine. Go back down. Blue door. Because that was a big thing about the N64, right? Is they had like colored lighting. See, this was like the starting door, not a door. But that being said, like a nice like accent wall in that case. Because I remember playing Quick 1, and it was real... Okay. Is that you that changed? Oh! Hello. I got an achievement. Getting achievements in DooM does feel wrong. This is gonna hurt me. Start of the level, start of the level. Okay, I can deal with that. Oh, hey, wait, look at the floating geometry. That's okay, that's different. Are you a door? You're a door. A lot of doors that aren't looking like door. Doors. Hi? What are we getting there? Man, the 2-layer map, like it's Duke 3D, is weird. Okay. Oh, okay. Good, like. Look at that. The double. But yeah, like even going from like this green room to this orange room. I remember the way I remember it. It wasn't until Quake 2. Oh, I know why this seems off, because I would sit like way further back to look this way straight and to look that way straight. Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. And also, I did decide. Where's me? Where's me? Here. I do want to be up in front of these, actually. Okay, hello. Do I not have the outline on this? I don't. Okay. Where were we? We were over here, right? And then that's which. So okay, so that's interesting. So like, again, this sort of like running jump platforming element. I feel like we didn't see any of that until Doom 2. But here we have it right here in the first level. But it's only used for secret, which I actually really like. It makes it optional. Yep. Okay. Oh, kind of airlock style. Both locked us. Okay, so yeah, again, exactly. We come in the door from over there, hit this, and that puts us here, like in the middle, far away from doorways. But also interesting that this was hidden, right? This wasn't really marked as a door, just a piece of wall opened, even though it is, I guess, like a primary doorway in this sense for this room. Because it is interesting, right? When you mark a door as a door, or when you mark like when you mark where the wall is going to open, where the enemies are going to come from, you are giving tactical information ahead of time. So by sort of hiding where the openings are going to be, where the enemies are going to come from, you are sort of disrupting the player and giving them like an extra level of surprise. Do we think this is the end of the level button? No? Okay. But now this is open. Okay, so door, yes. Directly open, no. Oh, wow, and all the way back here. That's interesting. Come on. I took my hand off the mouse gesture and I got shot because of that. What? The idea of the Pinky Demons using doors, like, not even as like a sort of like assumed intellectual level thing, but like, man, they're really flexing with this colored lighting. Look at the lighting. So again, I never played the original Doom 64, but I kind of just have to assume that like resolution has gone up. I can't imagine they really would have adjusted maps that much, but I guess honestly I don't know. But yeah, big yellow room. Imagine, to do a room like this in the past, you would have had to create yellow variants of all of these textures. But if this is... Well, I wonder if they are, because when you get over here, like in the shadows... but that's why you get to set ambient lighting. That's one of the features of like an advanced like lighting engines, right? Right, but okay, I need to finish a freaking thought. I remember, you know, Doom 1 or Doom have wow, passwords. Okay. You know, Doom had light levels, but it was from like mostly blown out white to normal texture to black. Then I remember Quake 1 having kind of the same, but maybe actually relying more on like textures, like baked in lighting in order to create mood and create tone. I remember that game feeling very flat in terms of lighting, but like very grainy in terms of not even grainy, but like sort of like graded just in terms of like colors and where certain colors were used and things like that. But once you get to Quake 2, especially if you had a software renderer, yeah, it looked kind of like what you've seen before. But if you had a hardware renderer, oh my god, colored lights everywhere just to flex. And this reminds me very much of that like era of flexing, which is funny because all right, here's a peek at my thought process. I'm thinking I want to look through all of this because if this is sort of structured like original Doom, then that's actually a decent amount. We could get through that in a couple of sittings and not spend forever on it. But also, I did also grab Quake 2 for the N64, which, since that was a game that, like, even on PC, was like, hey, we are going to flex our colored lighting muscles to then do it on... To then bring it to the N64, where people also were used to flexing those muscles. I swear that thing is like this psychedelic, multicolored acid trip. It's not quite Lisa Frank level bad, but bad? Powerful. I would not call it bad. I would call it, like, distinct. Okay, so I guess we teleported in here. You know what? This could kind of be like an elevator. Whoops. Oh ho ho! Alright, more shotgun. These are doors. These are doors. Am I not going in there yet? Oh, it's blinking the key down on my HUD there. Okay. That is so small and hard to see. Okay, but I do really appreciate the, like, you want to color code a door, we're going to super saturate the shit out of it. Like, alright, yeah. And, like, that's the thing that I guess we really haven't, like... Oh, God. Okay. This is creepy. This is creepy. This is good. So were these arrows on the floor telling me where to go? Whoa, okay, here we go. That was cool. That was a really cool, like, transition out of darkness. Oh, needs a blue key. Okay, and it does have the sort of, like, door siding labeling, so it still uses that. Whoa. Hi? Did we fall down, or... Aim up. That's a cool moment. That's a cool moment. See, this is exactly the kind of moment, like, I'm so often, like, talking. Whoa, no, I needed to explain it. Here, give me. You come into this room, doors are locked, you get very little of it. The encounter doesn't start from the doorway, which also it drops us in, so we don't actually have a doorway to back off into anyway. You see the cool thing, the chain gun all the way back here, and then as soon as you grab it, that sets off the encounter. And, like, you know, I've talked about moments in WADs where they've done this the other way, right? Like, they actually include enemies that drop weapons that are not the weapon you want to be using, so you actually sort of get juked, and it is like a punishment to pick up the weapons. This one is, it sets off the encounter, but the encounter is entirely in your favor. The monsters come out, but there are explosives ready to deal with a mass of them, and you have, like, the perfect weapon for dealing with them, because all they can do is funnel in towards you, and you just have a bullet hose that you just got. So it's almost like this moment is more like a celebration of getting the getting the weapon you just did, because it's just like, hey, here it is, and it comes with, like, a best case scenario situation for it, right? So, like, yes, you have to use the resources. Yes, technically, you know, it does endanger you, but you just get to unload and you just get to go, oh, I see why this is fun. Like, it's almost like a teaching moment, you know? All right. Also, I do just love this little room because because it's kind of built like a mall. I think about this a lot, about the way that malls are built, because I'm of a certain generation, I assume. But main hallway, high ceiling, and then really this could be one, like, triple wide room just with the pillars in it. But because the two outside rows have that drop ceiling, it does split it into, like, 3 rows. And, like, if this was a mall, this would be like the shop area. Hey, Box. Doom 64 is interesting so far. It is colorful, and it is... I'm not sure what to think of it yet. I'm definitely liking it, though. Oh, he got squished. Okay, that's the blue zone. Is this the red zone where we started? Yeah. Oh, blue key. Okay. See, like, over here, is this supposed to be, like, ambient occlusion, or is this baked in? I'm actually, that's right, I should mention, I'm actually playing the, whatever version was, like, the digital deluxe pack-in that came with Doom Eternal. So it's the version that I have on Steam. Gimme? Switch, here we go. What? Oh, rude. Ooh, I love that. What? Oh, got it. Wait. Oh, hello. Well, I'm gonna try and... Okay, it stays here. Ow! No, this is good. This is exactly what I want out of Tricks and Trap dungeons. Do they all say down? Of course. Wait. They all did the same thing. Wait. Is it this side is button? Do I want to hit it? Can I not run out? Okay, this is the part where I start overthinking it. At least they put a nice big health pack in here. For your troubles? Wait, so what do you want me to do? Ah, here's the last one. And that one actually didn't have the... Oh, come on. Oh, hi. Actually, so again, kind of like well hidden back there. You see what I mean? Using the box to block your view to it. That's tricky. That's tricky. Man, there's so many like... So there is a sort of like classic Doom element here that a lot of these rooms are just rooms, right? Like they seem purpose built for you to go through. There is no sort of thought around what is this room in like a realistic military base sense. There's a couple of rooms that are interesting in terms of like, hey, like the starting room of this one, right? Or like this room makes sense down there. This room was making sense as like a teaching moment and as a mall. I still don't quite know how that works out. Whoa, hey, is this kind of an outside? That looks like night vision. I guess this is a red door? Yep. Alright, we got like a nice outside bit. Oh, look at those gloves. Look at those gloves. Just decoration. So we're going to end up back here. But I wanted to point out, like this room, I think this starting room is really interesting, right? Because we have sight lines. So we have this little corner, which is a wraparound dead end, but with a window. So it's just like it's just a window. It's just a sight line. We have this one, which is a window sight line into another area, which again, I'm assuming is what's like just behind that yellow door, but it's gonna be a while before we find out, I'm sure. The actual path to the yellow door, even though you see it from here through that window, it's another wraparound dead end. Like this is a very tightly wound little room that kind of has like an 8 square setup. Well, it would be 9 square, but this one is filled in with the next room. But you know, it's kind of like a tic-tac-toe board. But the way that you go through it, the middle one is this lit sort of centerpiece of it. Like, does this make sense as any functional room? No, not really. A gash wound. I don't see it, but this is also a really nice like up-resing of these assets, or just maybe a clean rendering. Like this room makes no sense, but I think it's really cool. The fact that it is just like tightly wrapped for whatever reason is memorable. It's useful because of the sight lines, and it's becoming a place we're gonna have to revisit. Okay, red door's out there. Now we're talking. I do love that so far a number of the sounds have been the same. Like that's different, but like some of the... Oh, hey, we finally get to see it. Ooh, that was a nice explosion. But like that rev up, that sounds mostly the same. They changed the looping on the active frames. That's different. The screen shake when you fire that is super good. That actually is a major like game feel kind of thing. Oh yeah, this bright lighting changing. That's a good touch. Oh, this is how we get here. Quick save. So it feels to me like one of these little dead ends should open for like a sub secret or something. Is there a glowing? Oh, whoa! Look at the texture on that light. That's wild. I don't think that was intended, but it looks cool. It looks like a aperture opening and closing. But maybe that's a side effect of the like outer segments all rotating, and so that texture ends up rotating too. I don't know. Do I want to drop down there? I mean, maybe? Yeah, because I don't think we've seen this at any point. Okay. Ow, 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 what? Okay, if you stand in the... If you stand in the blinking lights, you should be safe. Okay. What? Why was that? Oh, red key card. Okay, so we have to go through here. Let me guess, you spawned in here? Uh-huh. Okay, you just gotta dodge between the flashing lights. Whoops. And they do actually alternate in a way that you can kind of run into a down one as you run between. Right! You know, I could reload and just handle that better, but... Now we're here. Right, now we have... I could use some of this health. See, I really like the way that that's like an open window over to here. You know what? That would have been really good to grab after doing the stupid crusher section. Seems like that might be intended, because then you also drop down out of that and you're here at the red door with the red key. Hey. Oh. Whoa. Whoa. All right, not just for decoration. That's wild. And it locks you in and gives you only one window to look out so that you don't miss it. See, and they've gotten into really good designs with the like layout about using light to like painting with light and darkness in a way here, and of course the super saturated colors. But also I'm noticing that the palettes for the like all the everything baked into the textures is also not muted, but has that same like grittiness that makes me think of like Quake 1 textures more than Doom textures. Like, not that Doom textures were ever, you know, super clean, but this like extra level of just like brown noise on everything. And like, I don't know, that like yellow is pretty bright, but all things considered, it's still not like neon. It feels kind of real. Like, it feels like it has like real life like like weather wear on it of being there, of being exposed to the elements or whatever. Just like everything has a lot of that green and brown dirt in it, and that sort of unifies all of the textures and makes them feel like they are unified by sort of like dirty grittiness, gloomy and industrial. Well, there have been like several, like they like the conveyor belt motif, and it seems they're not going to be shy about crushers. I mean, even again, the conveyor belt in the first level, I think, kind of as a way to flex and say like, hey, we have like player pushers now. Oh, over here. I knew one of these was a door. I wonder if it could have opened from that side. But like there's a like when I play a Doom, I do kind of expect to have like there's the silver, there's the brown, and then there's the green of like the toxin areas. And then there's like the blue and grays of the computer areas, but something about like even the browns compared to the silvers, right, are like one is definitely silver, one is definitely brown. And then the greens and blues are super strong compared to those. Like the brown is almost closer in saturation to the greens and the blues. Rather than being like a worn, tarnished silver, it is like, no, it is brown. But the thing that's happening here is I feel like if you told me like under, like white light conditions, every texture here was the same sort of like the same sort of like muddied silver texture, I would believe you, and everything else about the color variation is coming from the super saturated colored lighting, right? But in a way that makes everything feel really flat. Like there, I could almost see an argument that like this is a game where you could have rendered all of the, well, I guess not. These browns definitely stick out. But like almost an argument that you could have rendered like drawn the textures in grayscale, and then they would have just soaked up, whatever coloring from the lighting there was, and it would have looked kind of similar. These just have that sort of like same like somewhere between silver and brown, that very like earthen color with a bunch of greens and brown like noise dirt mixed on. And then the rest of the coloration comes from the lighting. And the lighting is still super saturated, but like this wall, which in here looks like a sort of, I don't know, yellow greenish kind of thing going on. I'm gonna take screenshots and put them into Photoshop later. Versus out here, like if you told me that this wall and this wall, they're the same wall. No, this is exactly what I mean. Like you see, they're the same wall, but they like, it feels like the rooms do have unique color palettes, but that is almost entirely a result of the lighting coloration sort of affecting the way that the walls look, right? But these are the same texture, here and over there, but they feel like completely different walls. They're completely different moods of walls, Well, they're completely different moves of the wall, but I guess actually my point is more that this, I think, is making everything feel more unified, because it's like, oh, these walls, are serving different mood purposes, but not because they're different walls, just because they're lit differently. They are actually the same wall, so everything feels unified, and everything else has that same sort of like. Like it feel. Oh, we're up here now. Nice. Oh, and then we just take this back, and now the key is available. Yep. Good. I like it. I like it. Like, I think it's cool. I think it's interesting. I think it's. But it does feel very. Once you're aware of it, and you start thinking, and my brain is going like, oh, okay, so these are actually kind of the same wall. Like, actually, I do like this ground out here too, with this take on the hexes. I am now very much seeing the like Quake 2 influence. Feels like Doom 2 is somehow newer. No, I feel like it makes me feel like Doom 64 came before Quake 2. But after Quake 1 in a weird way, because what I'm really getting out of this is like this definitely feels more in line with a Quake game. That's what I'm getting out of it. Or like this is almost like a Quake 0 maybe. Oh, actually that would be really interesting if that turned out to be kind of the case. But like it's because there's a lot of like, because of the nature of the map, and you know the way levels are flat and all of that, like they don't feel like Doom maps because they've got a lot of the same constraints. But in terms of like I said, the way that these textures are like generated and used, it feels more like a Quake 1 kind of thing. It's got that like unified grittiness that makes me think of a Quake 1, but then it's got this super color saturation of a Quake 2. And so but with this map feel of Doom, it's this really weird out of time experience, you know? And don't get me wrong, I think I love it. No, this is the wrong way. No, this is the right way. Yes, this is the way. I gotta skip over both of these. Shoot. Or I could take the teleporter. Get back to the armor room. To go back through the darkness. Into the start room to go through the yellow door. Oh, and okay, that's kind of what I was expecting. This is just the exit room. Exit switch. Yep. Doom 64 with Quake enemies. Ooh. These enemies are definitely distinctly Doom. I mean, because, yeah, they're still the billboard sprite style, but their behaviors are still distinctly Doom. They're sort of like load outs and places within the power difficulty curve are identical. The ones in when you go and you look at the Quake enemies, it's kind of wild because you have the. Let's see here, what do you have in Quake 1? You have the like shotgun guys. You have the Quake 1 is like, and I'm guessing it's because Quake 1 came out of like a medieval fantasy design doc. There's a lot of like melee enemies in Quake 1. Because like you get the shotgun guys that are kind of sprinkled in everywhere. I guess because they give you ammo. But like one of the next big guys that or like one of the first big like second tier enemies that you see is the guy with a chainsaw and a grenade launcher. And that's like the grenade launcher was really interesting because that was playing with the 3D physics engine that they built for the game, because it might not have been much more than grenades, let's be honest, but the way that the grenades bounced in that game was insane. Like, the minute you thought, like, oh, I could bounce it off this wall to get it down that hallway without, like, revealing myself, yo, that's awesome. Like, that was actually an incredible thing. So to see an enemy have that, and then also just like, Doom enemies have either hit scan weapons or they have straight line projectile weapons. Well, I guess unless you're a Revenant, in which case you are that was a homing projectile. Sometimes I still don't know what actually determines whether it fires a straight shot or a homing shot. And okay, the Archviles, technically those are hit scan weapons, just super telegraphed. Super telegraphed, and with like a sort of the attacks are locked in. So once it begins telegraphing, it will fire after it will fire after a consistent number of frames. It will not like cancel out just because you break line of sight. So but that's technically still a hit scan weapon, because if it has line of sight, it hits you, period. But yeah, Quake 2 or Quake 1 enemies, they felt a lot different because they had animations, so there was a lot going on just in terms of like learning their frame data, I guess, and being like, okay, if they shot now, then it takes this amount of time for them to play out their recoil, and then they're either going to if they have a shot, they'll take another shot, or they'll go into a running around to pathfind. Their behaviors had this extra element of like learning the frame data of them. Never mind getting into Quake 2, where like when an enemy was dead, it would still fire off a couple of more like baked in shots in its death throws. That was honestly, I always thought those felt way stiffer than the Quake 1 enemies. But yeah, then you get this guy with the grenade launcher, which the grenade has physics on it, which made it way less like consistent to really be able to like read and interpret those shots. And it was a big danger in melee. You got sword guys. Sword guys had spread shots. You had the dude who was basically a pinky demon, but he was a really fast jumper. Like the sort of like the behavior and attack profiles on the Quake enemies are completely different. I could go on for a while just like listing that completely different, and so like, and that's the thing, right? Because we played the 10 monsters each in 10 maps WAD, and basically the point of that was learning that like you can change how hard a given enemy is by the level that you put around it, and I think that's like pretty true universally for like just like enemies as a concept in video games. But more to the point is that there are no direct swap outs that you could make between Quake and Doom enemies. They do not fit the same, profiles. They do not fit the same usage. They do not fit the same patterns. So also for Quake enemies, you have to build those levels completely differently, or maybe it was the other way, because that was like the first like true 3D levels that they were making. So I think in a way they were building the enemies around the levels. Like there were those weird little flying snake enemies that were gross, but no, they were floating, come at you, and projectile-based weaponry. So that's kind of Kako Demon. But I think in terms of like health, they were meant to be like much shorter encounters. They were more filler enemies. They had much lower health than a Kako Demon has. So Yeah, that is like a wild thought experiment, but like I don't think there's, because the map design is still very much Doom, I think everything would break to try and put in Quake enemies. What if we put Doom enemies into Quake? I need to think about that another time because I do want to see more game. Oh hey, it's the level from the demo. Rad. Super shoddy. Ooh, we're moving up in the world. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, those are imps that have faster fireballs and are semi-transparent. That is some stuff that you would only see in like Doom mods that with modified enemies. That is a unique enemy type. Yeah, this is also kind of what I was curious about, right? Because like not only are, oh, it's kind of left off the major like super saturated door coloring, but is now just sort of relying on the Oh, can I get up here? Can't get up there. These like these big animated geometry transitions are wild. Like that's actually made like between the big slammer in the last level and what we just saw here, that's actually maybe one of the like major like design concept shifts that I'm actually recognizing here, because the idea that like, because even in Quake 1, when the level shifted, like you hit a switch and then the door would open, the platforms would raise, yada yada yada, whatever would like happen. It was a very rare. It wasn't really until like, well, no, even then Quake 2, because like Quake 2 would have like almost like in-engine cutscenes in a way where like you would hit a switch and it's like, oh, we got to destroy the thing out there, and like the scene would change, the geometry would shift or whatever, but as like, and it would sort of like have the like explanation of why, if there was like bomb drops or what have you, and that was sort of like the story cutscene explanation. Like you never see in Doom like why the landscape is changing, just that it is. Well, alright, I gotta break something because there's a Nook over here, and it's Nook just with a teleporter for when you get stuck in the Nook. Okay, good. Alright, well now we have blue. But yeah, this idea of like cutscene transition, that is not a Doom thing, that is not a Doom 2 thing. Oh man, doesn't have the big fancy double shell reload animation. Oh, that's a bummer? That's a bummer and makes it feel way different. I like that these guys have the chains hanging off of them, almost say like, yeah, no, we chained them up once, we had it under control. And it's like, no, didn't have it under control, turns out. Ooh, yeah, I don't like that, because so like that big obvious animation makes it feel more elaborate of a reload process, which sort of, that's that ludonarrative. You hear ludonarrative dissonance, at least you did back in 2011. I feel like that phrase got big. But the opposite of that is like ludonarrative cohesion, right? When like the story and the mechanics intuitively mesh with each other. And so the idea of like the super shotgun, oh yeah, no, it does bigger damage, and mechanically it's like big damage, bigger reload time, risk reward, there's a balance there, sure. But the idea of just like, yeah, no, it takes this big multi-step reload process to reload that thing, of course it takes longer, you know? This one, it just like, it looks identical to this, it just takes longer. And that's, like at that point, in terms of getting used to it and sort of like internalizing how long that reload duration is, um I think that's a bit harder to internalize because it is just like an arbitrary longer number, you know? Um it's this arbitrary longer number rather than this big story of like, it's like step 1, step 2, step 3, go. Um Oh, okay. Hey, that's kind of a cool review. The weird fade in of the monsters. I'm getting the feeling that that is the sort of teleport animation rather than like the green flash. Um. Okay, but how do we get over there now? Is there? Okay, so this is too tall. The switch fell down to become a step, but you? There we go. Just an elevator. Oh, and this is the whole floor. Okay, good. Now we have yellow. Where was yellow at? I do like that a lot of these we are getting a bunch of these rooms that are like little, again, they're kind of little. Oh, you're new. You're new. Hello. Like these are set pieces. Like the purpose of the room sometimes is almost to give you a little set piece or animation or something interesting, not so much to. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. That's what I mean. Like that's, they are flexing in terms of using, of like scripting the geometry. That's wild, actually. That's, I can't think of anywhere else that's done in an id game. That's definitely not a Quake. That's not a Doom one. The closest you get on that is like um the, they're called the donut action. But like when you have the pillar in the middle of the toxin lake and then one switch lowers the pillar but then also raises the toxin lake and turns it into normal ground, and then it all becomes flat and you can access it, like that two step. All right, thanks for coming by. Have a good lunch box. Um like I can think of it in Doom 1. Doom 2 I think really focused more on the sort of, maybe the static design of things and anything that move, because talk about like, oh, we're doing like city blocks and we're doing outposts and we're doing compounds and complexes. It's like, all right, but a lot of that was like static design, and a lot of times when I think of like things that move in Quake 2, it is more to like subvert. It is like, oh, I think I'm about to go into a door, surprise, it's actually an elevator that goes down and then you walk out under the bottom of the door. It's like, all right, whatever. But like big animations to like justify a change in geometry, that is absolutely wild. And I guess it's because like that has to be like new tech, right? Because the whole thing about it is like it has to be multiple steps timed to each other. So there has to be like, you press one button and instead of triggering an action directly, it triggers a script which causes multiple like floor height transition change actions. Because not only did the ceiling have to come down, it came down or 2 sections came down, 1 section went back up, every section came down, the floor changed, the ceiling changed, and the texture on the ceiling changed, and then the ceiling went back up and revealed, right? Because like you look at this corner, and this corner is inside the bounds of the upper like outbox, so like everything inside this outer ring had to change. So that is just like, assuming there's not just some like what do you call it? Assuming there's not just some sort of like geometry replacement going on. If it is all floor sections shifting up and down and changing textures, that was a really complex. Like I'm just trying to like picture the like sector overlaps here in order to create a move like that, and it is like trying to cut it up into the pieces that we just saw. That is so complex. It is kind of driving me nuts. Oh, what? Okay. Huh. But yeah, that is an extremely unique thing to Doom 64 so far, is that like cutscene transitions. That's wild. Wait, then what are we in here for? This is behind the yellow key. Okay, but I'm hearing 2 doors change. Is there anything different out here now? Red key. Okay. Boy, stuff is... So, okay, I have nothing but good stuff to say about that, but now... So that's weird. So I guess this is supposed to be like a teleporter receive pad. That's why 3 different things have been on it. Okay, it is smart, though, that as soon as you realize there's nothing in here, you're immediately greeted with it as, like, the moment you decide to backtrack, you're greeted with it. So I'll give them props on that, though. For as much as things just changing without any clear line to something you've done is generally a no-no. Exit. Yeah, wow. Okay, that was a super short level. That was absolutely just a flex on this sort of like scripted geometry change stuff. Wow. Ow. This game is wild. This game is... Like, on the one hand, it is wild in the context of being a Doom game. But really, it is more wild in the context of... Ah, this is our start. Okay. But it is way more, like, wild... Like, it is wild in the context of a Doom game because it is, like, Whoa. Well, I touched it. I made everything upset. If I were you, I would look away from the screen for a little while. I'll let you know when we're out of the blinky zone. Oh, this is kind of bad, actually. Not out of it yet. I'm just going to hit all the switches, so hopefully we don't have to come back in here. Whew. Okay, Blinky's gone away. Alright, you can look again now. Man, that sucked. That sucked. I am very glad I am extremely durable to shit like that, because that was some shit. I love the design of this double staircase. Also, was that a shotgun in there that we got to see, and then it just lifted it? Oh, chain gun. Okay. Oh. Actually, I do love this as a really nice, like, okay, I need those to stop happening, please. But, like, this is a really nice outside area, like, open air section. Especially when you consider that down here, there is room. It's a kind of a moat, but at least there's something down here. God, and the shadow off of that onto there, that's... These really feel like overkill, especially because why there's no light right here? That does not read as the elevator. I just happen to remember that that's where I jumped down. Okay, that's a chute. Wait, that's how you get the... Okay. Okay, I have this now. I'm just gonna pick it up so it stops. Oh, hey, I'm done here. Not gonna stop, is it? Alright, let's just get away from here then. Those lost souls have less health than regular Doom. Usually it takes like 2 or 3 shotgun shots or 1 super shotty. I do want to say I do really like the design of these levels in the context of being Doom levels, because they are more interesting, more complex than Doom 1 levels, right? Like the way that this is like sort of a set piece, but also it is dealing with the like there's like a room up there defined by being on a balcony versus a room down here and big, and these might become a bridge of some kind if that's a door. Oh, and that'll be a way to go across. Oh, these are going to lift and then we run across those to get that. That's cool. That's a cool thing to do in a room. But like getting up here and like the tone is different. So not only are these two spaces broken apart by the height difference, but also by the color difference. And did the whole color of that room just shift? Cool. Hello. Having a window and putting a dude in here and then putting a window so that way the dude would trigger on seeing you through the window to alert you to look over here is smart. But it's smart in that way of this is a door that's really hard to recognize as a door, so the solution was to really draw attention to it. Wait, we ended up on this. Wait. Is there a button down here to reset these? I feel like I did it wrong. Okay, well now I just don't know which of these was the way to go and which way was like a bonus room. Do we think that is a secret? Okay. Let's save here because something about the way that it was like colored differently in the lighting is what made me try it. But yeah, these rooms feel like more interestingly developed than Doom 1 levels. But without going into the Doom 2, we are going to try to like develop and build towards specific like scenes. Am I really gonna have to try hitting this from all four sides? I don't know. No, because all four sides are going to do the same thing, aren't they? So that's why when I hit one, the other side doesn't activate if the effect of the first side that I hit is still ongoing, huh? Wait, the blue key was just down over here? Oh my gosh. Okay, well, okay. That's just kind of hidden. I mean, I got there, but I really thought that was just like a catching trough for the sake of if you fall in there, and you can fall in there because it... Oh, wait, we're already up to Dukes? Or no, these are Knights. There's the one hand where they look quote-unquote better, but I prefer the old. And then it's just over. Okay, man, some of these levels are super short. But they're interesting, and they're still, like, well-designed, and, like, they're the ones that, like, look interesting, the ones that have, like, interesting pathing. These are... They're more mature, I think is a way to say it, in terms of how, like, an art form matures as people sort of gain a better understanding of the medium and what you can do with it and what is done well with it. Like, these feel like maybe more of what I would expect out of Doom 2. But Doom 2 went into this, like, bigger spaces, more buildings, you know, sort of like these grander layouts, where these feel like better executed Doom 1 style smaller layouts, which is really interesting, on top of being the precursor for like full true 3D Quake 1 levels. And now I really want to revisit Quake 2. Here's the problem: it's been so long since I played like PC OG Quake 2 that I don't know. I don't know if I would be able to have anything really like interesting to say in terms of the comparison between regular Quake 2 levels and Quake 2 64 levels, you know? What level are we at? We're on level 5? Let's say... Maybe I'll play more and talk less, because I would love to get through 8 levels, because again... And assumption... Wow, there was no episode selected at the beginning, though, was there? Alright. Red, yellow, blue... Something called Tech Center. I really do love the way that this feels out of time. Like, it feels like... It feels like... You remember how we got Sonic 3, and then we got N Knuckles, and it turns out, like, the original design document was that N Knuckles was a part of the bigger game? this is kind of feeling to me kind of like that, like, because it has brought in elements of Doom 2, but into a very Quake 1, no, sorry, elements of Doom 2 into a very Doom 1 sort of environment in a way that's just like, it's like, oh yeah, this is probably what these would have been if we had. Does that mean this is a door? It does. Okay, so the non-colored ones are also doors. Yeah, sometimes I can only pick out doors because they're highlighted like doors. Or they have the like key labeling on them. So are you a door? You're a door. You're a different style of door. Ooh, also the middle split door. Okay, yellow key, yellow key. How are we gonna get? We gotta get you down somehow. This? This? Can't just grab it through here. These not damage based. Okay, so maybe not. Door. You're new. You're new. You're new. Also, yeah, I cannot tell the difference between like the pistol boys and the shotgun boys. They all just they look less like they are like combat ready combat fatigues and more like your cousin who you know is back from his time in the army but still kind of just wears the like plain shirt and canvas pants because that's just what he's used to now, but this is like summer hanging out by the pool. It's just he looks like that now, you know. I don't know if I'm evoking anything real, but that's just what my gut says. Okay, so I'm guessing so again, like, it feels like there's a lot of dead end rooms in these maps, though. Good or bad, or just extant? Right, and this is how we get up here. I'm just gonna go ahead and yeah. Well, we hit a switch. We looked in there. What happens when we go back here? I'm gonna guess maybe this door that... No. Oh! The yellow key is dropped. Okay. Again, not gonna say this is great design if it's very... push a button and then have to go check every corner of the world, but... It's less troublesome when the world is very sort of like confined. Okay, well that did something. That did that. Okay, yeah. Not as much balance between the indoor and outdoor sections. I think the outdoor sections we've had have been very good and flavorful. Oh god, it's one of these sections. Okay. I'm just gonna do this. Oh, that don't open. I was gonna say I'm gonna do this until I enter a room that has already dead guys in it, and then I'll navigate via the map. There we go. Whoa, whoa, hey, whoa, bad. Alright, we all fell victim to it. That is health, okay. Ah! Again, what did that do? Where are we? Wait, where are we? Okay. Alright, we're over here? We've been in here. But, like, again, this feels very much like a Tricks and Traps, which is a very Doom 2 level. Wait, yellow key. Oh, okay, I guess that's what we did. Right. But teleporter? Alright, not teleporter. Red key. Alright, blue key in there. Stand in the middle of it. We're safe. Cool, okay. Oh, hello. Where did y'all come from? How many rockets I got? I got a lot of rockets. Alright. Yeah, I don't know, I'm really thinking like the Sonic 3 and Knuckles comparison, I think, is pretty good. It's like, okay, all the stuff that we had in Knuckles, we're gonna roll it back into the one that we put out first. Hey, why did that look evil for a second? Oh, hello. Right, ready to run? Temporary teleporter. Better than temporary secretary. Okay. I'm gonna guess it's this one. Hey, guy! There we go. What? What? Only took 3 last time. Or did I get shots off them at some point in between? No, that doesn't feel right. I'm just allowed to go back now? That doesn't feel right. Ah. Okay. Alpha Quadrant. Like, I feel like these layouts are reminding me of something else specific, and it's not just Doom 1. Like, because Doom 1 loved to have the inside-outside comparison, right? Like, you look at that first map, and like the area you traverse is the inside, but the big U that you look across to see where your goal is, that's all outside. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, every level had this sort of big... even if you didn't go outside, you could see outside. Like, outside was always a major... Oh, yellow key for a thing. Weird that there's no marking of it. Okay, alright. Might not never remember that. And so the way that these levels are like... I want to go out this side, though. Hey, what? No, I figured out your game. There we go. Give me something secret. What the... Wait, also, how did we do that? Oh, there is like a weird crossover there, huh? Very weird. Why does that sound like snoring? Come on. Alright, I guess that means we opened... I have no idea. I have a lot of switches that you don't really know what they're doing when you hit them. Maybe... I wonder if they feel like they set their own bar way too high. So now it's like, oh, no, because... Oh, yeah, look at this again, though. We're getting more... map under map. How are we doing this? Wait, is this trickery? Hang on. Oh. So we're looking at all of this. Yes, look at that. Okay, so this hallway, I guess we're teleporting. Or no, or is this... Maybe not. Did they figure out how to do level under level? Or this might be just like a weird... I mean, if those are like instant silent elevators, the rest of this works out. It is just those tiny two crossovers. And I feel like they look weird. Like, I feel like those are sticking out from the wall in a weird way that's telling me they are having to shift a tiny bit of hallway where you can't see. Very weird. Very interesting. Very cute. I want it. Let me in. I love how it's a little wibbly Doom face. Are you trying to tell me I want to, like, rocket jump in there? No, I can't aim down in this one. And this is a big... It's very crisscross applesauce. So we look here, and it's over there, and... Yeah, no, that's that. That's there. Oh, let's go this way. What do? You do that. Ow. Aha! Aha! Wait, and this lets us back over here? Okay, are you armor or backpack? You're backpack, okay. Did I change anything over here? No. Grr. I wonder if maybe somehow we'll get, like, teleported into that later, and then the hole in the gate is just for getting out, not for getting in. Wait, then what is that exit for, if not for getting back down? Alright, listen. It is interesting how I feel like a lot of these maps are sort of... To me, at least, they feel like flexing. They feel like, hey, here's some of the cool stuff that we and the community figured out in the time since the original release. Look at what we can do now, you know? What? Oh. And that lifts that. Now we get to go across. Okay. Right. Now we hit this, which goes this way. Oh, so I've got to go... Wait. There we go. It was still animating the lower from the old one, so it didn't pick up the new one. I thought I had to go faster. I was already going too fast. You look like a baron. Okay. Not a duke, a baron. Those orange ones are regular imps. Well, he was trapped and I could get far away from him so of line of sight. Name a better time to try out the rocket launcher. So you're telling me if I fall into the middle, it'll actually raise me, and then we can get over here. Like a pack of wolves, it will raise me. Your armor... Your blue key. Okay, so maybe I gotta get behind you to open those doors? Oh. I swear this run isn't quite run enough. Yeah, that sounds like doors opening. It wasn't. Well, two of these go to the same place. That one went to that. Time to go to this one. Remember what I was saying about when he's stuck in a place far away? Ow! Except then that happens. For some reason I think they put hold run on space, and I also don't think it's working. It's... Why? Oh, wait. What? What? Did it expect us to get caught up here? Okay, going all the way down here doesn't kill us. But I also cannot see crap. Killing stuff. You. Too. hit one of these? Come at me. Come at me. No, because what I'm hearing is the guy still up top, still alive, right? Okay, this is just hurting my eyes in a completely different way from the big flashy room. Alright, help me out here, game. Oh. Okay, there's like a hidden staircase back up. I have no idea how you were supposed to be able to see that normally, ever. Wow, okay. I literally only got to that because I was rubbing against the walls out of desperation. Okay, well, okay. I say okay, but I don't believe it. This one. See, it's not actually recoil because there is no aiming up and down, so I have to imagine it's working correctly. It's just like a... Yeah, I'm just gonna... Okay. Now let's try... Ah! Just straight. And it lifts to get you the rest of the way, huh? Now I hit that, so... Can we get in here now somehow? See, there's this door. Not open. This door open again. Is that door open? I'm gonna try this one more time just to see if I miss anything. No, that's now on. Can't open that door. Have to fall down here. Oh, I wonder if this is a, like, jump off. I go this way. Didn't land in it. So no? Okay. I hit this. That's gonna open that door. I'm gonna... And then it closes. Okay, that's what I thought. So I need to hit this and then run along this edge without falling off. Now we come in here. And we get to go in here. Does that just open the same door so we can get back out? That also opens the door behind us. Okay, I guess... What a weird sequence that is. Right, and this is what we wanted, because that gives us the blue key, and now we're happy to get out of here. I wonder if that, like, only opened the blue key, and that other switch we had to take the extra steps to press opened the armor, because that was marked as a secret, huh? Okay, now blue key right here. I can't tell if they're actually harming each other. I don't think I've seen any infighting so far. No, I think I did, but it was only cross-species infighting. Right? And then out. Okay. Yeah, sure. Like, these are almost reminding me more of Descent levels in a really weird way. Because Descent was about, like, being in these fully interior, because you're, like, inside of asteroids or whatever the plot of that game was. Fully interior, no window, no skybox. Like, we've had skybox in here, but they've been few and far in between, and they've been, like, part of the set dressing, part of set pieces when we've seen them, not part of general decoration ideas. I like them as part of general decoration. They've also, like, very rarely been, like, part of a concept of indoor and outdoor spaces. All down my shirt. All down my shirt, you know? I was ready to knock it out of bed today, but I got out of bed to record this show for you. And I got soda all down my shirt. It's okay. I can do laundry after this anyway. It's fine. It's fine. There are lots of worse things to complain about in this world than a little spill. Listen, it didn't even get on anything I care about. It just spilled on me. Don't be mean to yourself. Be kind to yourself, kids. You've always got to be your own biggest fan. Where are we at? 7. Okay. There you go. There's a little skybox. Okay, now we're feeling better. But yeah, like that's... This is a weird thing. They actually feel... Because of that, like, Doom 1 really had this concept of, like, indoor-outdoor spaces, open-air spaces. And this game is very much relying on, like, no, we're mostly indoor only. Sometimes we'll give you a skylight. And that actually gives it a different feel from... Or, like, even the you know... Sometimes it would be like, actually, this is just a room designed like any other interior room. But instead of having a ceiling, or, you know, most of a ceiling with a skylight in it, we're just going to say this is an outdoor room and the ceiling is just sky. It's just open sky. But these level designs are almost always closed ceilings. And a lot of times weirdly low ceilings. So, like, kind of claustrophobic, which is, like I said, interesting, but does make them feel different from Doom 1 levels, because Doom 1 had that vibe of the interior exterior balance so locked down. It's really interesting to me. What? We have security cam going on? You're kidding me. I guess that's telling us what that button just did, but oh my god. What other times that we've seen that texture has it actually been security cam? What other times have they used cam footage to show us what a button did? I basically tried that on a lark for the sake of, like, over exploring, because that's what this show is for. Gosh. This room here, actually, I think even more from this side, but, like, I'm going to take a screenshot here, and since I already have to pull this down and make an edit, I'm going to see if I can throw a side-by-side with, like, the way Quake 1 opens, because I think this is very reminiscent of that. And like that's what I mean. This game feels... This game is really feeling to me like the missing link between Doom 1 and Quake 1. What? Oh, man. I guess if I could go... What are you? Plasma gun. Yeah, alright. Still not the best for dealing with these guys. Oh, and this is the main room. Oh. We like right back around. Why? Oh, it's you. It's not you anymore. So now we're here. And we have a blue key. Oh, there's actually nothing to do in this room except it's starting room and it serves as an eye line between these other 3 sections. So actually we never really need to come further back than this. Okay, but now we have a blue key. No, and we just used the blue key. That got us to that. That got us here, and there's nothing else here. So there must be more in this. Ah, blue key. Here we go. Hey. Yeah, the like specific pace and brightness of a lot of these blinkings are not great. Okay. Oh, look at the pulsing green lighting. That is something. Oh, we're here now. This is more cam footage. Oh, button. Okay, that opened that. All right. How do we get back there? No. No, it's all through here. It's all through here. Okay. So now where does the yellow key go? Oh. Are you not? No, definitely hit it. Alright, look at, I want to say those 3 just connect. That was that. That's just a room with a shotgun in it. Better or worse than a room with a moose? Hey guys, remember Johnny Vasquez? I hope he's doing alright. That's... I mean, really, like... Aha. Wait, what? Nope. Okay. If I look at the auto map, I can't zoom out, so it really doesn't help me. This looks like nothing. Yellow. Right. Okay. You? It's definitely a labyrinth type map, you know? Oh, okay, we're over here now. Ooh, look at the smooth animation on that water. Ooh. Well, okay, toxic slime. See, and here's another example. I want, like, could you look at Doom 1 and they had to bake in all of the like toxic slime residue and glow? I wonder if this is baked in or if it's ah. If it's baked in or if it is dynamic lighting, colored lighting. Ah. Well, that's rude. Or is that like now that's what's gonna unlock the beams down here? Let me in. Hamachi. This is the way we came in over here. This is the way back to over here. Who controls that one then? These down here are green slime trailway. And this up here was a fight and now a button that refuses to let us get to it for some reason. There's not like a ledge that I could sit on to get there. Oh, weird! Just another crossover? Oh, wild! I wonder how they got that to work. What? Why? What? Work with me here, game. I need ways to understand the effects that my actions are going to have and the options that are available to me. Okay. Games are about interesting choices, and so one of the responsibilities of games? It's a weird way to put it, but that might be the right word. So one of the responsibilities of games is to make it clear to the player what their options are. If the game fails to do that, then it is at the very least going to have trouble with the step of, you know, giving options that are good. It doesn't matter if you have good options if nobody can tell. Okay, I know where that is. It doesn't really matter if you have good options if the player can't tell that they have options. That option is available to them, you know? Red key. Okay, red key. Okay, red key. Okay. Red key. Hi. Okay, I guess 2 buttons that do the same thing. Why not? And that brings up... Wait, this one. These are some weird level directions. Entering final outpost. Oh, hey. And this is level 8. Good. Oh, that's weird. You look at the screen here. Arrow up in a box. Arrow down in a box. Huh. I'm going to save here because this is probably a boss fight, right? Ouch? What? Ouch? Ow. Okay. Yep. Oh. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Okay. Huh? It did. It made a much smaller loop for the way back. I think? Fun. What does this do? This puts us over here. Blue key. I hope the water's okay. The water's okay. Water's fine. Oh, to get the blue key to get through here. Yeah, this is a very, like, obvious straight pathway. Tiny, constant, side steps required. Which is fine. These styles of maps amuse me. They're kind of... I would call them easy to conceive, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Hey. Hello. Stuff. Good. I actually really like the idea here of buttons that give you a hint of the action that they're going to cause. Like up and down to be like, hey, these are going to cause some sort of, up buttons, we're going to lift something, down buttons, we're going to lower something. It's a very general, but I think that's actually, especially given what's been going on, where it's been giving us a lot of buttons without sight lines to what they affect. I think that is very helpful that it's like, okay, you're not going to be able to see it directly, but here's an idea of what these are going to be causing. I have a red key. Did I need a red key for anything? Oh, it changed the angle of the spiral, didn't it? That's what it did, huh? Okay, okay, wait, that's a red door. I go through here and look there, red. But a staircase down. So where's that staircase down from? That's all the way back over here somewhere. Back at the start? Oh, I didn't even realize that's a totally separate room that we're looking at there. Okay. Cool. Cool. What? Oh, that lifted back up when I... came up the stairs. Right. Alright. Did this. Maybe this big room has more secrets for me. What in here have I not explored yet? None. This is all of it, huh? Because that's the teleporter, but that's the teleporter out in the main hallway. Some of these zones over here. That's a button that we hit. It did that. No hidden hallways over here. Hey, rocket launcher. And then there's this, but this is what fell down into that area behind the red key box. What if I hit this and jump out here? That is lowered. Not fast enough. Okay. But you see, that's exactly what I mean. It's like low. Okay. Now we just gotta leap over here? Yes, and that's the staircase down. Okay. Hi. See, and I'm also not sure, but I'm not sure when that down button appeared, you know? I'm gonna save that for now, because I'm doing pretty well. Yellow key. Down? Up. Up! Up. Down. Puzzle. No. When I step in here, it drops it. When I come over here, it lifts it. Oh, stepping in here lifts that. This is making me feel like I'm a monkey in a science experiment. How do I get the banana? Ah. I would love to just push something in the way to block it, but I don't think that's it. God, and that's like silent too. It's not just about being fast enough. You know what? I have a third place to explore. Maybe that is just impossible for the current moment. That would be kind of hilarious to me. Why is that like that? Huh, okay, there's nothing there. Huh, oh wow, there's a energy gun out there. Oh, is that up there? Okay, well those are all switches. Down. This one? The one across from the one that I just lowered. That would be this one. It didn't go? Okay, I think I solved the puzzle. No, because this is backwards now. That's where we came in. This is still this. Did I would say this feels like I broke something. I do have a habit of breaking things. Okay, but now that's all of them. That's still like that. Is there something I want to, like, go back for? I was wondering why there was this weird spot on the ground. Because it was alerting me to a secret. I don't think there's anything back here that would change. There's still this window and whatever's going on over there. I want to hit this, and across. That gets us in here. Go down here to red, and then I did this thing, and it just broke. Was I trying to get... I wonder if I was trying to get all of them lowered. The idea being you keep taking down ones where it's not until it has ones to not go to anymore, and then the final one drops. Not trying to catch the one where it is. Yeah, and like every time you look at this, it actually shows you from a different angle. So it is a weird, like, puzzle game. Okay, well, if not that, I don't want to just grab that. But then all that means is that we're left with this. Can I... Can I do a thing by, like, leaving? No, because I've definitely come in before. does not just go back and forth fast enough. As soon as you touch that, it lifts. But we can lift that. I don't get it. I'm stumped. I'm stumped. This is not a show about bashing our head against the wall. So let me... boy. Let's see here. What is this? This is... DooM 64, level 8. Where's the yellow key part of this, huh? Show me yellow key. And yellow keys are usually... Whoa.
Okay, we'll deal with him.
No, right before that. Oh, guy, I don't need to hear you talking. I'm doing my own talking walkover.
No, cage forms around it like that.
What? Wait, what?
Key. I'm going to press a button here. Open the door and then press this one.
That is a button! Okay, so... You do that. No, wait. You do that. That's a button to lower it. That's... Like, okay, yes. It's the same texture, the wall, the floor. This is showing a lot of light to that you kind of like can't miss it. You don't erg on it, which means that it is interacting and doing something. That's... I don't know how I feel about that. Whoa, that's a bad place to autosave. Not autosave, quick save. Anyway. Hey, now we're here. I'm just going to leave that behind, that... How do I not be mad at myself about not figuring out the puzzle, the solution of which was ignore the bounds of the puzzle rule? Something is a switch that looks nothing like any switch you've seen before. That's... You know what? I'm gonna tell myself I don't have to feel mad about it, because actually the other answer is I'm trying to run a show and we don't want to just stare at me being wrong for a long time. Oh shoot, that's been the exit all along? It was right next to where we started. Okay. Okay. Huh. Hey, so up there where it says Final Outpost, I do want to point out that, hey kids, don't overlook font design. That's all I'm going to say about it. Entering even simpler. Wait. Oh, hey. You cackle as the familiarity of the situation occurs to you. The gateway to the demon's domain was accessible. You realize the demons mock you with their invitation. It does not matter. The demons spawn like rats, and you have the grade AAA UAC poison they crave. Your bloodthirsty scream shatters the teleport haze. Once again, you find yourself amidst. You cackle as the familiarity of the situation occurs to you. Right, so that was like a whole thing, right? That like that's part of what Doom Eternal wanted to do, was to say that like Doom guy became this like multi-dimensional alternate reality jumping quantum leap demon slayer, not just, lone survivor, demon killer, whatever, right? Like, so it'd be kind of funny if like kind of what Doom 64 is already saying is like, hey, this feels familiar. This is not the first time you've done this. We know as, the authors of this port that this is not the first time you've done this. It's different, but also it's the same. That would be interesting. Find yourself a miss. Yeah, this is just going to be dead simple from like Doom 2. Oh, but if it is, that's going to be way more like an actual boss fight. I want to do that right now. No, we just did 8, and 8 is an episode. Now, you know what? We'll save this because I feel like we know what to expect. This will be, I will say we'll just start back on this next week. Because this is good so far. This is interesting so far. I was not expecting this to basically be exactly the missing link between Doom 2 and Quake 1. Like, this is actually just absolutely wild. Like, we know this game was post Doom 2, but now I do have to go see where, like, I want to know what those development timelines look like, including Quake and Quake 2, because this is really like, I'm not going to say it feels like they have learned things to go back and fix things from Doom 1, but it does feel like there was a lot of things they learned, and they were sort of like in the process of learning going into, Quake era of design that are readily apparent here. This is weird. This is such a weird thing, man. And I get it. I like it. I'm interested to see more. I should go and look actually how many levels there are, so that way it's not. I don't want to spend like 5 weeks playing this, but I could spend 3. And if we have to have like an extra long middle chapter, I would do that. And then yeah, I don't think we're just gonna play Quake and Quake 2 on this stream, but we could do something. I should look for it now. There was one sort of in this realm. There was a I want to say a dude released a Quake level set that wasn't even like a campaign. It was more like a portfolio of like one-off ideas or in like development stuff. But one of those was rebuilding E1M1 in Quake 1 engine. And in a similar way, like that's always the thing that always sort of fascinates me, and is why I thought this would be, for this show, the idea of like Quake level or Doom level design was going to be like the way to go, is because there's something fascinating about Doom and the way that just like the way that humans conceptualize space And Doom lands in this really weird thing of just like top down flat. You can track everything as like XY coordinates without a Z coordinate. Then when you're actually experiencing it, the Z coordinate is super apparent, and it's just almost like it is so close to just like pointing at an uncanny valley of Euclidean space, I guess, that it's just like, oh, you would think that this would be more constrained, but like no, like there is so much, the fact that there's like so little that you can't do in Doom, especially in terms of like when you cut out repetition. Like, okay, it's hard to make like, you know, a hotel or an apartment building in Doom because that is very much about repetition. It is stacks of nearly identical floors, but that means that wherever you are at, the space above you is kind of a mirror and the space below you is kind of a mirror. Oh, that is an interesting thought that it just put into my head to fake that in an interesting way. All right, that might be another level building Gaiden if I don't just make it at midnight tonight in a sleep-deprived stupor. That'd be fun. That'd actually be fun. I might do that, actually. But the idea of, like... But that's exactly the thing. Because the levels are like mirrors, you go, oh, okay, well... But we can plan out one floor map completely on a sort of like 2D plane in terms of how you navigate it and how you can look at the space. And then you just know that, like, okay, so to navigate it's almost like okay, so basically what if the third dimension wasn't depth, you know? What if the third dimension was just color? So it's like, okay, we have this 2D map, but there's the blue version of this map, the red version of the map, and the yellow version of this map. Like, that would be like your third dimension. That is ways to have this identical map. So you have your XY coordinates on this map, and then like the color shift of this map that you're in. And like if we were talking traditional 3 dimensions, oh boy, what am I on about? I'm getting all up my own ass. All up my own final. You would just take like the 3 maps and stack them and have like a staircase or an elevator to connect them between each other. But if you take this and be like, okay, well, we need to represent 3 of them, so what if they were all just flat and next to each other and there was a different way to connect the 3, right? Like, honestly, even doing it in a Doom concept, you can get really close by just saying, okay, well, you go, the first level is out sort of west way, second level is out north way, and third level is out east way. And you can still have these 3 floors with identical layouts are on different heights. They're just not stacked specifically over each other. But that idea of there are 3 different floors with identical layouts and all of that. And it's like, and for video games, that's not really a pain because identical layouts are, you have to be really selective when you use them, right? Like if you're building something meant to be confusing, something meant to be tedious at some point, you would want to have your identical layouts. But for a game, if you want to have, you know, pathways through things, if you want to have spaces that are memorable so that they are easy to keep track of, like there are other ways to do that. Like I said, you could have your 3 floors of your apartment building, but instead of being like, okay, this is this map that's on the 3rd floor, okay, I know what's different about that one. You'd be like, oh, this is the one with the blue room, okay, the blue version of this map is the one where this corner is a conference room instead of the whatever, you know. and so like you can still get the same effect even without map stacking, even with the limitation of you have to force everything onto a flat plane. And especially when you're using modern ports and you can portal around a little bit, like, again, I love it for the idea of like you can build the impossible spaces where stuff overlays each other, not necessarily vertically, but in a way where they sort of like fight for the same space, and it's just okay. You're just, falsely connecting and you're creating wormholes. That's a fun thing to do. Man, if I could build my own apartment that was wormholes. Okay, wait a second. Okay. At one point I was working on or conceptualizing, I never really got past that, this concept of like a D&D one shot that was like, you got to go to the wizard's tower and figure out what happened to the wizard because he hasn't left his tower for too long. And like the first thing you notice when you get into the tower is that it is impossible spaces. Like it is like you go up the staircase into the main room, and then like there's like 12 rooms, and yet they're all adjacent to each other one way or another in like ways that wrap around, and it's just like this impossible thing. And like I could make a version of that in Doom. I could make that happen with portals. That sounds fun. What was I talking about? Yeah, so it's just always fascinating. But the end part of that, building E1M1 in Quake Engine, right? That was the point. It's just like, it's always fascinating to me that even though Doom is, technically has these kind of weird, severe limitations, they never really limit you from doing interesting things. They limit you from doing the sort of like repetitive, quote unquote, tedious things, which are things that a lot of times I feel like you want to, outside of very explicit situations that you have to be a big choice about the kind of experience you want the player to have in that moment that you're using it, is stuff that you want to avoid. So it's really like, oh, you're not actually losing anything there if you are still making like good maps in full like true 3D engines. There's not much that you couldn't create an equivalent experience in Doom, right? Like Doom maps are actually still pretty good true 3D maps that you get to add like a little bit more detail in, and certain elements are you can just do instead of having to do some sort of like, portal trickery kind of stuff. You can just do it. But it's also stuff that like neither map, there are ways to make good maps in both where you don't have to do either, like if you have something that you can only do via portal trickery, like unless portal trickery is the point of doing it, like there's probably another way to achieve that works perfectly fine, and that might lead to a better experience, because if then it maps better to that top-down layout that people, because I'm thinking about like anytime I go to a convention and you get the convention center map, or like any mall map, what do you get? You get these 2D maps that are like sliced into level slices and all placed on the same 2D image. Like it's the same, like that's the way people think about it, is we think about like a floor at a time. And then if there are more floors than that and we have to look at them, we place them next to each other. And Doom is just like, yeah, no, we're going to do it like that. And either you're going to have to do trickery to make them feel like they're stacked, or you're just going to build it so that they are laid out next to each other instead of stacked on top of each other. And it'll be fine. And it'll be fine at the end of the day. Like, or you do the thing where like actually it's going to be you're going to have to sort of like compromise. And if these two are supposed to be stacked on top of each other, then you're really only going to be able to get half of each, because half of that space you'll put for the first floor, half of that space you'll put for the second floor. Like the very much thinking about when we played Voodoo Guns Part 2, the much more cowboy town themed one, and the sort of hotel inn that was in there, the way it had a top floor and a bottom floor and rooms that were stacked on top of each other, but it was 2 rooms on the bottom floor, 2 rooms on the top floor, and where the room was on the top floor, the bottom room was closed, and where the room was on the bottom floor, the top floor was closed. So no, it was only 2 rooms. One got to bottom, one got to top, and we just got false doors that implied a room was there, and it was sort of intuitive to believe that implication because we understand the way that a lot of floors mimic each other, you know, unless a floor is doing something completely different. It's like, oh no, actually floor 31 is the basketball floor. So instead of being offices broken up into blocks with these main hallways, it's all basketball all the time. It's just 5 courts aligned like this. And then we go back to the normal offices above that. Like, okay, sure. Or like, you know, when you have buildings that aren't just big cubes, and like it's a big cube here, and then it shrinks to a smaller cube, and then it shrinks to a round, and then it's the pole on top. It's like, okay, well, we know it's not going to mirror, but we know that this floor is not going to mirror to a floor where the perimeter and shape overall is not the same, that it just won't fit there. So that's going to have something different. But at the same time, it's like, okay, well, this building is basically broken up into chapters, but I bet all of those chapters, the floors are going to be more or less mirrored of each other, you know? It's just really interesting. I think that's why DooM is so interesting, because it like the engine has limitations on it, but the wild thing to me is that those limitations you don't actually lose all that much is the thing. It's kind of wild to me. The only thing that I feel like you can understand in real life that DooM can't do is when you're doing like a town full of buildings, because you can understand, okay, well, you go in and the room is this big, and then there's a roof, and then it's sky above that. And we're not going to exist on like the rooftop level and go, well, most of the time. It's like, no, we're going to go into these buildings. But the idea of like the building only needs to be this high, and then there's open space above it, I feel like that's the only thing I ever struggle with in DooM, is this idea of like, it's like, no, there is no open space. You have this like flat ceiling that is like this glass ceiling that there is sky above, but nothing can go through that ceiling. And things can only stick down from that ceiling. You can't have an upper gap. It's like, okay, that's weird, but... And it makes a house that you can go into and also has like a sloped roof. I'm not going to say impossible, but then you have to get into like portal trickery. Because the idea of to build the sloped roof, you have to do these weird tricks. And it's weird, but... Hey, listen. Could be worse. All right, I'm thinking about that. I already forgot the thing that I said I would build tonight. No, wait, I'm kind of remembering it again. It feels like I've woken up from dreams before and built the like spaces from those dreams as little standalone DooM maps. Just as like, I don't know, tiny art doodles in a way. I do like doing that. So it's weird that this is an idea I had while I was awake that feels like it's going to be one of those dream space maps. All right, but that's enough talking. I have errand and chores yet to do today, so I'm going to say thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I had a good time. I hope you did too. We are going to revisit this again for the next week or 2 or 3 until it takes a finishes, because I do want to see all of this. This is already fabulous and interesting in ways I wasn't even expecting. And even if it stops showing new interesting things, it should still be a good time. It's still, I've never seen these before, so this is all new to me. I don't know if you've seen it or if you're in the same boat as me. And yeah, then I'll see about what we're going to do about N64 Quake 2, because I want to see all of that. But also, I don't know if it's the kind of thing I would do on my own, and therefore, in order to make myself do what I need to turn it into content. Listen, people create rituals in order to allow certain things to happen. Culture is weird. Just the concept of culture. Right. Thank you for hanging out with me. And until I see you next time, get vaccinated, get boosted as soon as you can. Until you can, stay home as much as possible. If there's no exposure, if there's no contact, then there's no spread. If you do have to go out, wear your mask. Your mask protects others. Their mask protects you. Wash your hands. That's the basis of good hygiene. Lift the voices of the oppressed. Learn to read power dynamics so you can tell who is oppressed and who is just claiming to be oppressed. Remember that neutrality isn't real. Choosing to be neutral allows the oppressor to continue and therefore sides with them. And the rule that underlines the rest of these rules is take care of one another. I'll see you next time.